Welcome to episode 1 of New Orleans Saints franchise here on Madden 26. They've really had a tumultuous career as a franchise, from being the worst team in the league to bringing in legendary head coach Mike Ditka, only for him to trade every single pick in the 1999 NFL draft for that man, Ricky Williams. Well, that's not really a man, that's a jersey if you guys couldn't tell. For Ricky Williams, plus their first round pick in 2000, to Bountygate, to drafting a 30-year-old quarterback with a top 40 pick this year. I know, actually, Tyler Shucks, he'll only be 26 in September. Yeah, dude, that makes it better. Anyway, this is expected to be maybe the worst team in the NFL over the next couple of years. We're going to try and rebuild them. And because this is a gameplay-focused series, that might not go so well for me. But Gene Dangus is back. My big problem with Madden 25 and now 26, the team overalls are absolutely inflated to the max. There is no chance this Saints team should be an 80 overall, yet they are. We need to stop hand-holding and babying teams. My team's not rated high enough. No, they're rated way too high, actually. They need to be one of the worst teams in the league, which is 70-ish overall. And I think that's a good spot to be. 80 overall is crazy. This team is 1 overall point behind the Chargers, who were a playoff team last year. Like, they just can't be within 1. This is the team that we're working with. Quarterback is a bit of a problem, I would say. Spencer Rattler is a real candidate to be the starting quarterback, but is not a great option. He's got a decent arm. I feel like it's a little bit better in real life than a 90. Like, if Shedeur Sanders has 88 throw power, I feel like Rattler should be above 90. But I digress. It's not that important. And Tyler Shuck is really our other option at quarterback. Probably not going to be Jake Haener. And this is the 25-year-old rookie. He will be 26 in September. A bit more of an arm. They actually gave him pretty decent speed. The accuracy is not terrible. I feel like Tyler Shuck probably will be the starter for us. I know that name may be a little bit confusing as to how you get Shuck out of that, but that's how that's pronounced. And I think the real big problem with this team, a lot of aging talent, right? Like, Alvin Kamara has been so good for the Saints for so long, but he's into his 30s now. He is on the way out, because that's what happens when you're a running back. When you're 30 years old, that's like, we got to compare it to dog years or something. Running back age, 30 years old might as well be 40 for a quarterback. It's like, you're on life support, buddy. We're going to put you in hospice. 30 years old is almost unfathomable, but some guys make it work. Kamara is one of those guys that I don't think his game is really predicated on athleticism. Well, I mean, a little bit, right, obviously, but he does everything so well. He's got great hands out of the backfield, really good at breaking tackles, really good short yardage back as well. He's going to have a role for a while, if he wants to, I think. And then you have this guy. I mean, I don't know how he's done it, but this is the Swiss Army knife, the Sean Payton special weapon. Obviously, Sean Payton's gone now, but that's why this guy's even here. Taysom Hill is 35 years old. Why is he so old with 8 years of experience? Because he's a Mormon. BYU, go out on a mission, do whatever they do, soaking or whatever for a little while, and then you can go and play college football. And Taysom Hill's like the hybrid everything position, and the fact that he has a career even, he's a hybrid running back, fullback, H-back, Y tight end, getting $18 million a year here in Madden. The contract works a little bit differently in real life. Here in the game, we're paying him an exorbitant amount to be a below-average tight end. We have Juwan Johnson. The O-line is fairly young and talented. I like Talisa Fuanga for the future. We know how I feel about my guy Kelvin Banks Jr. probably. A lot of Longhorn love with this team. Chris Olave can be a stud, but outside of him, there's not much at receiver. Brandon Cooks is a real veteran at this point. I do like the speed of Rashid Shaheed, the deep threat, but I don't know if he's going to be a true weapon for us. And then defensively, a lot of aging talent. Cam Jordan is closer to 40 than he is 30, I think, at this point. Demario Davis is, I think, in the same exact boat. Chase Young, is this guy ever going to break out? We have Carl Granderson here, who's kind of like a good underrated player, kind of waiting on this defensive line to do more. Brian Brzee is a solid player, but nothing spectacular, not really living up to his draft type. I know we ended up falling down the board in the first round a little bit, but has never really developed into being a great 3-down player. I'd love to be able to do that here in Madden 26, but I'm not exactly sure how possible that's going to be. We have Devon Godshaw, Nathan Shepard. We'll see. I mean, Danny Stutzman is an interesting player because he's a good athlete. He's really good against the run. He looks like a fish out of water in coverage. So we'll see how that ends up happening. I like Jonas Sanker. We'll see if we can play him a little bit because Tyrann Mathieu is retired. So we pretty much have to. Justin Reed is here. Great free agent signing. And then we have Kool-Aid McKinstry. Quincy McKinstry. I believe his first name is Quincy. Quincy Riley. We have Quincy and Quincy. That's a fun combination. Alante Taylor. Probably move Ugo Amadi down. Yield to the higher dev trait. But this is just not that great of a team. Also, because I want a more challenging experience, I don't think the Saints should be an 80 overall. I think that's kind of insane. I'm going to change the sliders. I know the whole reason everybody watches is to see me struggle and then freak out about it and complain. So, I'm going to help you out. So, we're going to try these sliders. Just move some things around a little bit. Kind of want a little bit more of a challenging experience compared to regular All Madden. Well, first and foremost, let's give our introductory press conference here, and we'll see what head coach Gene Dengus can do with the New Orleans Saints. How about a Super Bowl? I think that's certainly true. Coach Dengus doesn't say hello to anybody. Really setting the tone. Moment to pause in the doorway. Who's got questions? Coach, a big reason you were hired was your ability to develop talent and get the most out of players. What area will you focus on first? Well, developing the quarterback is going to be impossible. Let's go training camp here. Going to start at training camp. We're going to go hard, and these players are going to get a lot better during that time. I think that's the goal. Camp counselor ability unlocked. So clearly these answers are going to impact what type of abilities you get as a coach. Shifting to on the field, which side of the ball will your identity shine through the most? I really think of myself as more of a defensive guy, and I like defensive line a lot. I like linebackers, but let's go defensive line. I like to think I'm a pretty tough person, and there's no better place to show toughness than up front on defense. I like that. And lastly, coach, what will give you an advantage over other coaches in this league? We have innovative play calling, scouting prospects, developing offense and defense. It's got to be scouting prospects. That's what I'm all about. Shield Finder ability awarded. What do any of these things mean? There's no way to know. I don't think there's any way to find out. Edge Focus ability awarded as well. All right. Let's see what these abilities are. It's a big focus in Madden 26. I'm at least going to give it a chance. And because I picked Camp Counselor here, we have a ×4 XP boost for training camp minigames. Okay. We also can get a boost to the dev trait upgrade odds with our staff points. We're going to do that. We also have some scouting boosts here. Well, a big part of this rebuild is going to be in the draft. That's what we need to focus on. Go all in on scouting. Oh, and you can actually hire more tier 2 scouts with these abilities. I'm all in on that. No question. These scouting upgrades actually look very good. So the fact that we can hire 4 tier 2 scouts feels kind of crazy. I'm in. Why would I need 5 tier 2 scouts? I would just have my tier 3 scout. Let's start training camp. It's going to be Tyler Shuck. We've got a good old-fashioned quarterback battle. Tyler Shuck versus Spencer Rattler. We really have a journeyman college quarterback. That didn't even exist years ago. We actually have a college journeyman quarterback. He was at Oregon and Texas Tech and Louisville and probably more places. I don't know. And the Saints. That's kind of like a college team right around now, right? No. Everyone, it comes up like once a year when there's an extremely dominant college team and a really bad NFL team. It's like, could Georgia beat the Browns? No, they couldn't. They would get absolutely demolished. There would be no chance. But the Saints, maybe? No. This Saints team, they're bad, but I don't know that they're one of the worst NFL teams ever. I don't see that at all. I dogged on the Saints a lot here, but I think the big problem with the Saints is just the way they look for the future. Their best players are really old. Their salary situation is in a really, really tough spot. And they haven't exactly drafted all that well overall for, you know, a few years now. They've had some hits, obviously. It's hard not to. But they've had a lot of misses. And they haven't had the depth that they used to have. Like, it's tough to match their draft class that featured Ryan Ramczyk and Alvin Kamara and Marshawn Lattimore, and I think Alex Anzalone was in that class as well, and Marcus Williams. Like, they had an unbelievable, like, best class of all time type of class in 2017, but it's tough to duplicate that, and they have not. Cam Akers having star development seems crazy. I think there'd be a revolution and an uprising if I were to ever trade Alvin Kamara, but controversy creates clicks. I'm going to try to develop Alvin Kamara here, and by develop, I mean get him a little bit of a boost, and then maybe at the trade deadline, Alvin Kamara is not a Saint anymore. I don't know. I know that's like crazy to think about, but it may be the best move for everybody. Alvin Kamara gets a chance to potentially win a Super Bowl, and I get a chance to potentially win a Super Bowl at some point because I can get anything back for a 30-year-old running back. Who knows? Let me know what you would think about that down in the comments section below. That would be interesting. It's tough to think about trading him because he's such a franchise legend at this point. But, hey, this is a business. So, of course, I'm getting gold on all these. This one is broken right now, where the quarterback will just lob a moonball to Narnia for no reason. So, I'll try it if I can't get gold because it's broken. It's probably a skill issue, but I'll see if I can come up with a clip where you can see what I'm talking about. I'm trying to get the 400 and or the 200 there. They force you to the inside this year more than ever, so you really have to do that double move. And that one really floated in, but it's actually much worse than that. It's much worse. And that's a bullet pass. There it is. Where is it going? He's throwing to the fan on the staircase. Good ball. Yeah, I like that. I mean, how is that out of bounds? I'm sick of this. I was able to get gold. I don't know how it happened, but we got it. 2 skill points. Okay, that's an interesting change. I feel like it's been 1 for the other guys. We got to get Kelvin Banks going. Horns up in the chat. This is not live, but comments, whatever. Yeah, just 1 skill point for Kelvin Banks. Call him Kevin for a second. That's not his name. Trench battle. We don't really even have any pass rushers that feel developable beyond Brzee. Like Chase Young, maybe, but that's a short-term deal. I guess Brzee's going to need to be extended as well. I'd love to get Brian Brzee to be really, really good. I just don't know how possible it is. He's only 23. Should be, like, somewhat inexpensive. That's good. Should be somewhat inexpensive to bring back, but we'll see how much we can actually develop him. Did you imagine in real life if this was a drill? Hey, we're going to get our starting quarterback that you're actually not even allowed to touch in practice, and he's just going to stand in front of a big target and let a defensive lineman bulldoze him for free. What an insane idea. Another Longhorn legend here, Jalen Ford. Do I go with the Oklahoma guy, Danny Stutzman? He's 22. He's got hidden dev. He's really very clearly the best option here, so I kind of have to. If you're having trouble with this drill, I would just recommend hitting left trigger a little bit more. It's a little bit tougher than it has been in years past, but basically, like, you just have to think these running backs want to redirect badly. They want to change direction. They want to screw you up. The hole that they're in is not going to be the hole that they end up hitting most of the time. So you have to just use left trigger to strafe. Did a great job of it there. And except for on the outside runs, you can be a little bit more aggressive, but just kind of let them... saying let them bounce into you sounds like an insane sentence. Stutzman's change of direction is ridiculously bad. It's like a city bus, dude. It's taking me 20 minutes to turn. Oh my god. I'll still get gold on this attempt, but I gotta lock in. Alright, that fumble definitely helped us get gold. It could have been tough outside of that, but Kamara is just so shifty. With Stutzman's change of direction and Kamara just bouncing around, it was tough. We got gold, but, you know, that was almost bad. One play away from gold with Jonas Sanker here, and it's not going to come on this play. Or that play. Or that play. What is the... Dude. The coverage sack gets it done. Okay, dude. All right, Tyler Shuck, deep throw accuracy, I think is what we're going to focus on here with the upgrade. And, well, actually, his improvisational ability could definitely be improved, and that could upgrade deep throw accuracy as well. It won't, but it could have. His short and medium accuracy gets a little bit better. We'll take that. It's up to a 69 overall. Nice. Get elusive back going on Alvin Kamara. That bumps him up to an 85 overall with an ability slot as well. Probably going to be able to get a nice couple of upgrades here on Olave, and he's actually very close to another skill point as well. So he's going to be close to a 90 overall pretty soon here, and definitely somebody we want to keep long term. I don't know that I want to really upgrade how good he is with the football. I just really need my receivers to be able to catch. I think that's going to be a fairly important thing. I think getting catch and traffic up a lot could be quite good. It's kind of like the biggest area of his game where we could really see improvement. And we get +4 break tackle, which is kind of interesting there. And we're not really getting big boosts to catching overall, but okay. Sanker's going to start at free safety probably. Just need his zone coverage to go up. He's a scheme fit over here as well, which is kind of nice. Cam Jordan's at 6'4", close to 290. The pass rush ability is not what it used to be, but he's another Saints legend. One of the best players in Saints history, right? I can't trade Cam Jordan. Unless, I don't know. I mean, I love Demario Davis. I'm glad he's finally getting the recognition in Madden because he's been one of the best linebackers in the league now for a while. And if he is on this roster by the trade deadline, either I'm doing incredibly well or I have failed in the management department because Demario Davis is in the final year of his deal. He is, I don't know, 70 years old. I'm not really sure. There's no way to find out. But he's old. And that's somebody I have to trade. And if I want to get Chase Young on the field, how is he going to play over Cam Jordan, over Carl Granderson? So Cam Jordan moving to a potential rush defensive tackle role, or really a 3-4 defensive end. And we get Granderson and Young as the true rush ends. That could be the move. And then Brzee as a rush D tackle. That could work. Hey, Coach Dengus, wanted to discuss managing player health for the upcoming season. I know about wear and tear. Just whatever. This is a play full game series, but for the preseason, I do like to play the moments. Just kind of get a sense of how the team is doing without playing an entire preseason game. Wow, there's a lot going on in the weekly loadout this year. I don't even know how to read. This is going to be tough. I don't really know if I like Quincy Riley as a focus player. I just feel like we're not really going to be able to develop him that much. He's 24 years old, 72 overall. He does have star dev. I mean, it could be superstar, but it won't be. So he has star dev. Let me get Talisa Fuanga in here. Another offensive lineman. Really try to build up the O-line. I think I like that the most. And I think training in half pads is going to give us the best result. I do not want my players getting injured, really. Play the moment. We only get one. We had to make the most of it. 81 overall against the 81 overall Chargers. That's funny. That's the example I use, and this is the first preseason matchup here. It just feels like these shouldn't be the same rated teams. I don't know. Chargers take the field. Again, we will be playing every snap of every game in the regular season. Preseason, just to get an idea, Rattler in at quarterback. But of course, I do expect that to be Tyler Shuck. We'll see if anything changes. And there goes Alvin Kamara. Big gain right off the bat. Kamara for close to 20 to midfield. All right, I think he's locked in the starting job. I've already decided it. And now let's work off play action. They actually read it right away. I need to get these helper little things off the field as that pass is dropped by Cooks. Back to Kamara. Tried to change direction there. Nowhere to go. Kamara dropped for a short loss. They don't typically want to run the ball on 2nd and 10, 2nd and long in general, but I feel like based on where we are on the field, you could easily call this 4-down territory, especially in the preseason, as the only option really appears to be the Alvin Kamara check down, and it wasn't a great option. Rattler does hit Cooks for 21. We'll see if we can punch this thing in or throw it in. Could work well. Juwan Johnson in motion. That's a good route. And Olave can't make the catch. That looks like a window. There's Olave. He makes the catch and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Chris Olave. That looked weird, but we'll take it. First touchdown on the board was reading Taysom Hill outside to back to Olave. Timing worked out really well. We were just able to throw it into the hole in the coverage. And we get our first touchdown of the year. It's not in the regular season, but man, we dealt with a couple drops, but that was a pretty easy drive. I know we faced 3rd and long, but again, that was a pretty easy drive. 3rd and inches. Look at how many Chargers are in the box. We're going to take advantage with play action. Juwan Johnson's open, and he'll make the catch. First down as Tyler Shuck is into the game here for your New Orleans Saints. This is the second team. Foster Moreau, Donovan Peoples-Jones. Very careful not to say Dennis Peoples, one of my channel legends. Maybe the biggest channel legend. Cam Akers was wide open. It didn't look like he was going to be immediately, and then he was. And I can't replay. All right. What's there to replay? I missed a touchdown. But I sure can kick. Look at that beauty. I'm curious who you guys think my biggest channel legend is. I think it's easy to go Dennis Peoples, as we're just going to lob up a post to Donovan Peoples-Jones, and then we get that garbage animation. Not that that's a high percentage play anyway. I think for the more recent fans of the channel, it's not hard to look to College Football 25 and take, White Lightning, Taylor McCaleb in Nevada Dynasty, or Marquis Balaj in Kent State Dynasty. I also think that Raphael Wilkinson has a pretty decent shout for it in Lions franchise, one of the most favorite series on my channel. Nick Duval, the tight end in Giants franchise, was a monster. It's probably going to be an offensive player, but I really don't know that it's a quarterback. Nice move, Juwan Johnson. That's a first. Shuck over 100 yards passing, and he's going to take us probably until the 4th quarter. Imagine we'll get Jake Hayner in the game at that point, but I do want to see what Tyler Shuck is capable of. This could be our starting quarterback. Got to see what he can do. Also, probably makes more sense to be on the left side here so you guys can actually see the down and distance as Akers is dropped for a short loss. Junior Colson in on the TFL. 3rd and 13. We don't really have a lot of routes here that are actually going to the sticks, unfortunately. It's really 2 options. And I'm going to choose the mismatch. Catch is not made in bounds. Or was it? Right foot down, left foot creep. No, that's not right. What is... I'm going to challenge it. And it is actually overturned. Juwan Johnson got 2 down. The crowd's booing, which I know is not realistic because I've been to this stadium. There are no Chargers fans here. 2nd and goal, Shuck. That's wide open! And a passing touchdown for Tyler Shuck. That's the rookie tight end out of Colorado State, Dallin Holker. I didn't talk a ton about this draft class, but hopefully you get a chance to learn these guys over the course of this series. I'm not sure that Dallin Holker is going to be a big-time player for us in year 1, 2, or 3, or 4, or ever. Waited a long time on the deep ball. Was never there. But obviously 4-down territory here from the Charger side of the field. Wide open is Juwan Johnson. That's a first. Favorite target of Tyler Shuck so far, who's approaching 200 yards passing, looking for touchdown number 2. And it looks to be a very easy victory over the LA Chargers here in preseason week 1. Finally, we get a defensive moment here. EA Sports is smart. They know the average player doesn't care about defense at all. So why ever give a defensive moment? Oh boy, first down Chargers. I mean, this is going to be an easy preseason win. I don't know what to make of this because it's just preseason. Didn't really even end up getting a look at Jake Haener just because he doesn't really have any chance to start. We know it's already not going to be him, as that ball is tipped up into the air by Ugo Amadi. And we will take over and game over. 20-3 Saints, that is your final. Chargers really didn't put up too much of a fight in this one. But we saw both quarterbacks make some pretty good throws. And are we not going to get a chance to see the stats there? Okay. Why would I even want to see him? Rattler did have the highest rating in there, but very small sample. Obviously, Shuck played a lot of the game. On the ground, I mean, Kamara was very good overall, but, you know, barely had any touches. Shuck took off a couple of times. Obviously, we leaned on Juwan Johnson a lot, but Bub Means putting up some decent numbers. Of course, the touchdown for Olave. And then defensively, 2 TFLs for Cam Jordan and Brian Brzee. Sacks going to Chase Young, Nathan Shepard, and, of course, Isaiah Foskey. Former, I believe, another top 40 selection for this Saints team. And he just really has not come along very much either up to this point. We can also see our progress towards unlocking new talent in our loadout. We just got a play sheet unlock. Okay. Well, we've actually received a little bit of wear and tear here in a number of different players. A lot of players have risk areas that we have to worry about, but I don't know how we can manage that without just, like, you know, not playing them. Do we have any actual injuries here? It's a lot to sort through, but Bub Means is out with turf toe. We do have some upgrades here. Calvin Banks is the first one. I don't mind going into Agile. I feel like when I was using him in one of the drills, he moved around just so slowly, but he's got decent speed and acceleration. I guess maybe the agility feels a little bit poor. And Spencer Rattler will actually go up to a 70 overall here. Could he be the starter? Jags, Saints. I really think the Jags are going to be better than the Saints in 2025, so the +2 overall. I mean, I could complain about the team overalls all day. I really could. And you know what it is? I complained about fans. That's probably not even the biggest deal. It's the players. You have these players that have no familiarity with the ratings, and they see 90 overall, and they're like, that's disrespectful. You have, like, second and third round rookies being like, man, I got to be at least a 95 overall. You can flip that around, maybe. You might be at least a 59 overall. What do you mean 95? Do you think there's a 4-point overall difference between you and Myles Garrett? Justin Jefferson? What are we doing here? Anyway, we got a moment on defense. Throw over the middle to Trevor Lawrence, and that's a diving catch made by Parker Washington. Jacksonville driving down the field here. Looking good. I don't think we have the personnel to run man here. We're going to go ahead and switch to a zone defense. Going with a cover 3. I mean, Brian Thomas is just so tough to stop in general as Demario Davis ranges over, makes the tackle. Walker Little injured on the play. Bounty Gate is back, baby. Over the middle. That's going to be intercepted. No, Pete Warner drops the ball. Nearly our first easy reads of Madden 26. Pete Warner's dumbass couldn't catch the football. Jacksonville is going for it. Good ball out line moment for us, though, to keep them off the board. Yeah, where is it? It's going to be a touchdown. Lawrence under pressure, throwing on the run and throwing to Brown for a touchdown. It's the new Jacksonville Jaguar signee, Diami Brown. I mean, we laid a pretty good hit in there on T-Law, but he made the play anyway. And our offense is not answering the call in preseason week 2. Do I trust the boys in man coverage? Maybe I don't trust myself. Trevor Lawrence is playing on another level right now as Brenton Strange is the most elusive player on the planet. Living up to his last name. That was strange as hell. I don't know how we didn't bring him down. I feel like we had two guys that were right there. I didn't even bother switching on because I go, oh, he's just going to either go out of bounds or get tackled here. But he just kind of ran right by him and then trucked right through the next closest defender. And we'll finally have a chance on offense. Down 14 as we approach the 2-minute warning here. I'm liking Taysom Hill. Chris Olave could look okay as well. We'll see. We're going to throw to Taysom Hill. He'll make the catch. Turn upfield down to the 1. Alvin Kamara touchdown. Come on, here we go. We got good blocks. Kamara has just enough to go through Tyson Campbell. Touchdown, Saints. Get this big game gene. Get my gamer tag off the screen. What is the point? Is that necessary to have in franchise? In case oh, that's my gamer tag. I totally forgot. I'm playing by myself. Why is my gamer tag on the screen? Seems ridiculous. Anyway, we have a minute to find the end zone here. Wanted Rashid Shaheed down the field. We just didn't have time to get it to him. I mean, at this point, you want to see what players are capable of. Yeah, it's nice to have a long drive, go down the field. We only have a minute here. I'm trying to take shots and see who can really separate as I immediately hit the check down to Alvin Kamara. Playing a little bit hurt. Wear and tear seems to be a huge factor in Madden 26. I mean, -4 to speed is a lot. Oh, nice spin there from Cooks. We continue to live in the hurry up and just operate out of bunch nasty. Can Shaheed split the safeties? We don't really have time for it because the O-line is not protected. Every deep route just works as a clear route. That's a little unfortunate, but that's how it works. They're not giving us anything down the field. And at some point, we're going to have to take a shot here. We have one timeout. We need to get the ball down the field desperately, and this is a lot of motion that's eating up a lot of our clock. Snap the ball. Outside to Olave. It's underthrown and nearly picked. It really came out late because of the play action. Now we have a play. It's either a shot to the end zone, if we want, or play over the middle and then settle for 3, which is what we're going to do. From 53, it's Blake Groupie. That looks pretty good, and it is. That's the half. We're down 14-10. Now, new to Madden 26, you actually do see halftime moments, but didn't play the moments in preseason. We're not going to be seeing highlights from around the league, although I will try and show a lot of those in the actual regular season games in the series. As Tyler Shuck is out there, some great receivers like Dante Pettis could have a chance to shine. Well, that's a good third down from us. Down by 4, Shuck still out there. I like that route from Juwan Johnson. He makes the catch. He's living inside the 5 here. Last game, of course, made that incredible catch. Brings us down to the 1. Can't find the end zone, but he's bringing us very, very close. And Shuck can't get rid of it in time. I mean, there's no way Donovan Peoples-Jones gets covered here. There's no way. Touchdown, DPJ. Throw over the middle. Touchdown on the inbreaker. Jags take the lead inside a minute and a half. Tyler Shuck, this is your real test. Can you be the starter for us? We're about to find out. We need a drive. I hate 4 verticals. This is not college football or NCAA 14. Down the field for Pettis. Underthrown. Jordan Lewis was there. I don't mind the idea, but it just wasn't there. As Cam Akers breaks a tackle. Nice move there from Cam Akers. Makes this a more manageable 3rd and short. I got to get these pop-ups off the screen. Shuck has decent enough speed to take off here. Timeout Jacksonville. It's an Emmanuel Ogbah injury holding his right wrist. Free timeout for us. I don't mind it. Wide open. Shuck's going to find him. It's Donovan Peoples-Jones again. He's juking. Did he step out of bounds there? It looks like he did. Good move. I mean, we have timeout, so it's not really too huge of a factor here, but might as well keep them if you can. Good timing there to Juwan Johnson. If anything, maybe even threw it a touch or a tick too early. 37 seconds on the clock. 1st and 10 from the 10. And look at where the ball is. I don't know why this isn't 1st and goal. Cam Akers takes a big hit. Okay, we're going to call a timeout. That took a lot of time off the clock. So if you hurry up, it doesn't take any time off the clock. If you don't hurry up, it takes about 40 seconds off the clock. That was insane. It would have kept going, but that's all right. Because it's 2nd and goal. We have a timeout left. We're going to see what we can do. I don't really like anything. Catch made by Foster Moreau. He's muscled out at the 1-yard line. Now, that could be a little bit dangerous. In real life, if he's moving backwards there, that clock would keep running. We'd have to call a timeout. But instead, we keep the timeout. They're not having a lot on the line, so we can afford to run the ball here. And Akers is short. It'll come down to 1 play. 4th and goal on the 1. I mean, they are begging us to run the football, and I don't think it's going to be enough. We're going to try it, though. Can we move Holker over? Snap the ball while he's in motion. Use him as a lead blocker. Akers, touchdown with a second remaining. The Saints are going to be 2-0 in preseason. Tyler Shuck orchestrates the drive of a lifetime. And that's a quarterback we can believe in. A real experienced vet like him. This is something you're not going to believe that's totally true. Patrick Mahomes and Tyler Shuck played together at Texas Tech. Tyler Shuck is actually older right now than Patrick Mahomes. Please do not look that up. This time the quarterbacks flip-flop in terms of QB rating. But, I mean, similar performances all the way around. We could not run the ball, but both backs did have touchdowns. Dante Pettis with a few catches in this one, close to 50 yards receiving. TFLs for Foskey and Demario Davis with a lot of sacks. Christian Boyd is a player I'm actually kind of excited about. He was, I believe, a 5th-round pick out of Northern Iowa, and he's got some potential. We'll see if he can end up reaching that. Fidel Diggs, the rookie, had accused with a sack. Shepard, who was injured in this game, and Chase Young had sacks as well. Terrell Burgess, Brian Brzee met at the quarterback. No interceptions in this one. Torn labrum for Nathan Shepard. Cam Jordan also with turf toe was not going to play in this one. But I'll tell you, Cam Jordan's going to have to play defensive tackle for us, which isn't really defensive tackle, but he's going to have to slide down. I think I'm going to list him at D tackle on the actual roster and depth chart. And I think he's going to be a rush D tackle as well. So he's going to have to make a move. Okay, so we can have practice protector, which is injury prevention, healing accelerator, players heal faster. Here's what I think we should do. I think players heal faster because sometimes injuries are just going to happen. So if we accept that injuries will happen, if we can get those guys back a little bit quicker, I think that's the way we want to approach it. And I also want to reduce wear and tear damage a lot. I think the trainer actually is going to be fairly important. Can't quite afford that, but if we have staff points, we've got to worry about that, as Sean Payton will take on his former team. It's the 0-2 preseason Broncos against the 2-0 preseason Saints. Final preseason game. Let's make Cam Jordan D-tackle. That will actually keep him in a starting role on this team. I mean, we could play Christian Boyd, could play Texas legend Vernon Broughton, but I think we're going to move Jordan down. I mean, this could create more opportunities for Isaiah Foskey even, although I can't promise that. Back to the Superdome, final preseason game here before regular season action in New Orleans. I'm excited to get after it. You guys in the comments, gotta help me name a starter. I'm very split right now. Both Rattler and Tyler Shuck have performed well. It's tough to say outright, you know, this guy's the correct decision for the team at this point. I'm curious what you guys think it should be. Because it's not like the ages are tremendously different, right? In fact, is Spencer Rattler younger than Tyler Shuck? Almost everybody is, so that's a possibility. 2nd and goal. Camaro wide open. Touchdown, Saints. Sean Payton has seen that many times. It's weird he didn't have a plan for it. Everyone's trying so hard in the preseason. Second one, nicks off play action. Wide open is Allen, and that is a touchdown, Denver. Keenan Allen signed with the Broncos in this franchise. He is a Charger in real life, but he is signed with the Broncos here. I'm using the preseason roster. So that is the first roster that this game can have. So, you know, it's using what it was when the game came out. Keenan Allen has since signed with the Chargers. I can only wonder where Amari Cooper is. As we're going to get on the move with Rattler. Throw on the run. Going to find Olave, who can't make the catch. No, they're going to say he did catch it, and it's a fumble. Can we review that? I mean, it's preseason, but that's an insane play. There's no way. Great throw by Rattler, by the way. Olave makes the catch. Or does he, is what I would argue. And then is the ball out as he hits the ground? That isn't a fumble. Let's get a review here and just give us the ball back. I can skip the nonsense. Saints ball. Kamara, touchdown. That was easy. Throw over the middle, and it's a sack. Demario Davis already had a tackle for loss on this drive. Now adds a sack. Putting the team on his back. Also, you know, he's a superstar X Factor playing in the second quarter of preseason week 3. So he should be making some plays. Last chance for Rattler to make an impression here. Pressure was just a bit too much, unfortunately. We should probably see Tyler Shuck in the second half. But we may see Rattler for one more quarter before going to Shuck in the fourth. This may be the last play for Spencer Rattler. I mean, maybe we had Olave. He's got to let that go earlier. 4th and inches. It's a fake fullback dive pitch. Kamara to the outside. First down, Saints. Wide open. Bullet. Touchdown, Rashid Shaheed. That is a very good ball. Maybe came out a little bit too late, but I said last chance for Spencer Rattler to make an impression, and he may have done just that. Rashid Shaheed basically uncovered slot left. Rattler just splits the defenders. Bullet in there for a touchdown. All right, Tyler Shuck, what do you have for us? Didn't really get to look at a lot of the running backs. That catch is not made by Wilson. But this is more of a quarterback battle, right? I think we are fully aware of what these guys are capable of. It's not that much, but, you know, they could be worse. So maybe you should have gone to the running back there. Jaquan McMillan makes the tackle. And it's 3rd and 7. Can we get a snap off before the 2-minute warning? Yes, actually. Am I ready for it? Maybe not. That could have been a pick. Instead, we will probably punt the football away. Up by 3 late in the game. We're actually in field goal range. It's right. So we're not going to punt. We're just going to drill a kick. Easy. 24-14. Now, I always say this. My favorite saying, maybe. Don't go up by 6 late in the game. You just incentivize the other team to score a touchdown and beat you. Which I know that your argument might be like, well, they're trying to do that anyway. Well, a lot of times teams play more conservatively if they can just play for a tie and get 3 up. But when they know they need a touchdown, you're really making them try and score a touchdown on you desperately. And that's pretty easy to lose, but it was just kind of a weird spot there. I wouldn't say it's like tremendously late in the game, and there's still a lot of timeouts as factors, so we just took the points. Like, I'm not going to go for it on 4th and long there. It's just not going to happen. And obviously, we're not going to punt the ball away. Like, take the points when you can get them. Don't just give them the football back for nothing. Like, a punt there would be insane. Go up by 6 if you're going to punt. But whatever. It's really a go for it or field goal spot, and it was just a little bit too long. As all day here. Can somebody get to the quarterback? No. I'm right there. Oh my goodness, how is that possibly completed? We have no pass rush. How about an interception to win it here? Jarrett Stidham is working all the way down the field. Or, touchdown Broncos. Our offense will get another shot. Piss poor defensive performance is actually the former Saint A.T. Perry. 48 seconds. What can Tyler Shuck do? Again, you're trying to prove your worth as the potential starting quarterback, and there's the athleticism. Gonna go hurry up. Could call a timeout here. Let's see how aggressive they get. Could be a good time to hit a screen. That wasted about 10 seconds. Maybe a timeout would have been better. Follow the block. There's Akers. 27 seconds. We only need 3. They're going prevent here. Why are they in prevent defense? Up by 1 with 20 seconds. We have a timeout. We can just work this all the way down the field. The timing is going to work out perfectly here. I'm actually kind of worried about snapping the ball. We're not going to. It just took way too long. Timeout with 2 seconds to go. Blake Grupe on to win it. And it'll be an undefeated preseason. You're going to ice us in preseason? Coach getting his practice with the late timeouts. All right. How'd that work out for you? Ice cold in the clutch. It doesn't matter what you do with your timeouts. 27-25. Saints with the victory and the undefeated preseason. Just too easy here for the future Super Bowl champion Saints. But who will the starter end up being? Shuck was actually intercepted in this one. That was not me. I don't remember throwing a pick. Rattler definitely outplayed him in this one. Ran the ball a little bit better, for sure. Any standout receivers? Not really. I mean, Taysom Hill was pretty productive. A couple TFLs for Davis, who had a sack. No real sacks for us in this one, which is kind of strange. But that is our preseason. And to end episode 1, we've got to end some dreams. We've got to cut 20 players or add players to our practice squad. And we're going to go position by position, starting with quarterback. We are going to keep 3 quarterbacks. Who will be the starter? I have not made a decision yet. A lot of running backs here, and not a lot of great ones. I mean, Clyde Edwards-Helaire is back in the boot. He might get the boot, though. I don't know if we want to keep him. Devin Neal is a rookie. Velus Jones is at least fast, but this is a wide receiver that's converted to running back because he's not a good receiver. And I don't really think we want to keep him. What a obvious bust he was going to be. I guess he's not a bust. He was a 3rd round pick, but it was clear he should not have been a 3rd round pick. Not to, pile on there, but bad pick. I'm going to cut Clyde because I want to keep Devin Neal. Velus at least has, a component of speed to his game, but Devin Neal is younger Clyde Edwards-Helaire for us. We just don't need 2. Yeah, I don't see Dante Pettis making the team. We can probably add London Tipton to our practice squad here. Who? The disrespected Dallin Holker. I am going to add Maliki Matavau to our practice squad. Jack Stoll is a good run blocking tight end in real life. His run block rating is not great here in the game. I don't particularly want him. Dylan Radins is an interesting option. Kyle Hergel is going to get cut. Torricelli Simpkins cannot make the team. Nick Saldiveri is an interesting option. Landon Young, at 28 years old, is going to get cut. Jonah Williams is going to get cut. Not the one that probably any of us think of immediately. A lot of depth at defensive tackle now. John Ridgway is going to get cut. Tyreen Powell to the practice squad. Sewell to the practice squad. Or cut. I mean, I just don't know that we need him. Rico Payton to the practice squad. And Rajon Wright to the practice squad as well. We definitely do not need to carry 2 punters. I'm going to keep the younger one. Let's go with James Burnip, and Hayball will not be making the team. Velus Jones is gone. Chris Rumph, probably gone as well. He is. And I'm not cutting Cam Jordan or Devon Godshaw. I just can't see Cedric Wilson being the guy for me. I'd rather play the younger players, even if DPJ is only slightly younger and Bub Means is slightly younger. I think that is probably the right call. We really don't need this amount of tight ends, but I like Dallin Holker. He's going to be a practice squad player, I guess. If he gets signed off the practice squad, so be it. Yeah, we will. But I think Jake Haener is going to move to the practice squad as well. I was thinking about going into the season with 3 quarterbacks. We're going to have just one on the practice squad. It's just, that's kind of where we had the space. So we're going to open up week 1 against the Arizona Cardinals. Could be an interesting one. The Cardinals on paper are a little bit better than we are, but we'll see if the coach Gene Dangus era is going to start off with a bang or not. Trey McBride and Sean Murphy-Bunting both out. We're missing Nathan Shepard, but the Cardinals are definitely hit harder by injuries than we are going into year 1. And your first look at the draft class. There is a quarterback at the top of the board. 3 in the top 4. Cam Farrell out of Cincy. Demetrius Lewis out of Auburn. Next, Cam Newton. Mark Baker out of Oregon State. And that is the first look at the class. A lot of tackles in the mix. A really good tight end potentially. A lot of quarterbacks in here. We'll see what it ends up looking like. But that is going to do it for me, guys. Hopefully you're excited for Saints franchise. And I will see you in the next one. Take it easy.